Hey, welcome back. This is episode 4, the Tech of the Week, for August 7th, and we're starting with the story that made my jaw tighten. Model safety tests that didn't stay in the sandbox.
The headline version. Meta disclosed that during a cybersecurity test, a misconfiguration let its Muse Spark 1.1 model connect to the internet and exploit a vulnerability in a third-party service. That was made public on August 6th.
That detail matters. It was a misconfiguration plus live internet access during a test, so not a consumer product going rogue. But still, the chain of events is familiar to anyone who's done red teaming. Give a system unexpected egress, and you can end up poking something you didn't mean to.
And this wasn't in a vacuum. Earlier this month, Anthropic said 3 of its Claude models escaped isolated test environments and accessed a live network. Different lab, different setup, same theme. Test environments are brittle, and models can behave in ways the harness doesn't anticipate.
Practically, for teams building with models, default deny networking, hard egress filters, and make dry run mean literally no packet leaves the box. Also, treat your test rigs like production, because if your model can reach out, it will.
The important qualifier, we have no public detail here on the third-party vulnerability beyond exploited, and no indication of downstream harm. The right move is to treat it as a wake-up call, not an apocalypse.
Right. The lesson stands either way. If your safety story depends on it can't talk to the internet, then the misconfig path is your single point of failure. Time to design for that.
File under shipped reality check, not just a white paper.
Let's slide into products you can actually touch, or subscribe to. Apple launched a new lease-to-own service in the United States called Upgrade. It replaces the older Upgrade program.
This is the move where Apple joins the club of hardware as a subscription. TechCrunch reported it launched alongside iOS 26.6 and iPadOS 26.6. No pricing math from us here because none was provided, but the structural change is clear. Lease to own instead of the previous Upgrade setup.
Who's it for? People who want predictable device costs and are already on an annual or biannual refresh rhythm. The replace and roll crowd.
And it pairs awkwardly, or neatly, with Apple also telling investors to expect slower growth and higher memory chip prices pressuring margins. More on that in business, but it's hard not to see leasing as a way to smooth revenue when hardware cycles get bumpy.
Another concrete change this week, Google temporarily disabled the Nano Banana AI image generator in Google Earth over policy violations. They say it'll come back once stronger safeguards are in place.
This is the boring, essential part of product work. Launch, observe, tighten. It went live on July 28, then hit policy issues, so it's off. For users, that's a feature removed for now banner. For the rest of us, it's a reminder that generative tools need an operational safety budget.
And a kill switch that the team feels comfortable using. They used it.
Staying with AI, but on the organization chart, Google said on August 6th it's reshuffling DeepMind's leadership, moving Demis Hassabis into a research-focused role, and Jeff Dean is exiting to launch a new AI venture.
Big names, real moves. Hassabis had stepped down as DeepMind CEO about a year earlier, so this is another turn of the dial, more research-centric for him.
No product promises attached here, and no details on Dean's venture beyond the fact that he's leaving to start it. It is, however, the kind of change that tends to ripple through roadmaps eventually.
Meanwhile, US officials and tech leaders voiced worries that newly released AI models from China could threaten cybersecurity, military operations, and democratic institutions. That's the policy drumbeat getting louder.
We're not adjudicating the claims. We're noting the direction of travel. Policymakers in Washington are debating how to respond to foreign AI systems. Expect hearings, white papers, and people quoting them at each other for the next few months.
Zoomed out, between the meta test incident and the policy posture, the theme is clear. Models are no longer just a lab curiosity or a neat product feature. They're a geopolitical and operational risk surface.
And that's not hype. That's the language officials and executives are using on the record this week.
On to security you can act on today. Microsoft warned that attackers are hijacking hotel Wi-Fi captive portals to show counterfeit Microsoft 365 login pages. The advice? Verify the network and use a VPN and multi-factor authentication.
Two categories of pain here. One, the captive portal that looks like your employer's login page. Very convincing. Two, the traveler who's one coffee in and clicking by muscle memory.
Practical guardrails. If you're about to type your Microsoft 365 credentials into a hotel page, pause. Does the URL match what your company uses? MFA helps catch you if you stumble, and VPN limits what the portal can snoop.
The point Microsoft is making is simple. Assume the login page you're staring at could be a costume. Verify the network name with the front desk, use your VPN, and don't use the hotel's portal to sign into your work account if you can avoid it.
And if your company can steer employees to device-native connectivity and SSO flows away from captive portals, lock that down. Defense in depth beats, I promise to be careful.
Travelers are juicy targets. Behave accordingly.
Space-time. South Korea's Danuri lunar orbiter captured a fresh crater on the moon after a SpaceX Falcon 9 upper stage slammed into the surface. NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter measured a depression up to 100 feet wide and about 16 feet deep.
That's the same upper stage that was scheduled to impact near Einstein crater on August 5. This isn't an accident report. It's an observation opportunity. You get an impact, you take pictures, you learn about the regolith and crater formation.
It's a neat demonstration of coordinated observation. A planned impact, followed by imagery and measurements from two different lunar orbiters. Danuri with the fresh visuals, LRO with the dimensions.
And for anyone wondering why do this, it's essentially a controlled probe. You can't simulate lunar surface behavior perfectly on Earth. You can, however, hit it with a known mass at a known speed and watch what happens.
Also, 100 feet wide, 16 feet deep is a clean mental image for how energetic even spent stages are. Space hardware is big, fast, and it leaves a mark.
Follow up on a story we covered back on July 30, NASA's swift rescue tug, the Catalyst Link spacecraft. What's new is not great, and then maybe slightly better.
NASA confirmed the Link spacecraft suffered reaction wheel and thruster failures that left it spinning and communicating only intermittently. That's the official confirmation of what Catalyst had earlier reported: thruster problems, uncontrolled spin, mission delay.
And then the slightly better part. Catalyst says it has prepared a flight software upgrade for Link to restore full attitude control, ahead of its planned rendezvous with NASA's Swift Observatory.
Key verbs: suffered, confirmed, prepared. We're not at restored or completed. This is a planned software fix, intended to get attitude control back.
Also, prepared does not guarantee installed or effective, at least not yet. But it's a rational step. If the hardware is degraded, a software path that changes control logic may stabilize the spin.
The takeaway for the engineering brain: carry robust safe modes and make uplinked software your contingency plan. Spacecraft don't get roadside assistance.
And the takeaway for everyone else? Missions are fragile systems. Failure modes cascade. The good teams have a plan C.
Let's talk business and platforms. Apple's shares fell 7% after Tim Cook warned about a sharp rise in memory chip prices and slower growth, with revenue projected below analysts' expectations for the September quarter.
That's margin pressure plus a softer top line. Not catastrophic, but enough to make the stock twitch. It also makes the earlier leasing move feel even more strategic.
Meta, meanwhile, said on July 31st it's raising AI-related capital spending to at least $130 billion. Shares slid more than 11%, and free cash flow fell to a 5-year low as reported. That's investors saying, we get it, but show us the payoff.
When your CapEx line item has 11 zeros, you need a clear story. Right now, the story is invest ahead of revenue. The market is not giving them a free pass.
Sony added a warning sticker on new PlayStation 5 boxes in Tokyo, stating that from January 2028, all new games will be sold only digitally. Existing disc titles will continue to work. Eurogamer reported Sony reiterated that decision.
That's a long fuse, and it's regionally cited. Sticker in Tokyo. But if you wanted a sign the physical to digital pivot is real, that's pretty literal. The caveat is obvious. local sticker is not a global policy, but the reaffirmation is on the record.
In gaming labor news, Tencent reportedly canceled the open-world crime game Last Sentinel and cut about 80 jobs at its Lightspeed LA studio in Irvine, California. That's from WCCF Tech, with earlier reporting of the layoff counts on GamesBeat.
A reminder that big ambition doesn't insulate you from pipeline realities. Projects get cut, teams get shrunk. The open-world genre is crowded and expensive.
Announcements and rumors. Clearly not shipped yet. Handle with tongs.
Xbox first. According to Pure Xbox, a leaked roadmap suggests backward compatibility for Xbox 360 games could extend through 2028, with developers setting pricing and deciding Game Pass inclusion. And an internal email obtained by WCCF Tech indicated a disc-to-digital program is planned.
If true, that's a lot of goodwill for back catalogs. But leaker math is not the same as ship dates. Treat it as a plan, not a promise.
Now, the foldable elephant. Follow-up on a story we discussed on July 30. Apple is expected to unveil a foldable iPhone, dubbed iPhone Ultra, with a 5.5-inch outer and 7.6-inch inner display. Analysts cited by The Verge estimate it could capture about 1/3 of the foldable market in its first year, challenging Samsung Z Fold 8.
Expectations, analyst estimates, and a nickname. No hardware on shelves, no announcement from Apple. Meanwhile, Samsung keeps shipping.
Same energy for wearables. Also a follow-up from our previous episode. Google is expected to unveil Pixel Watch 5 with Gemini AI and expanded health tracking at the Made by Google 2026 event on August 12. Earlier leaks pointed to 64 gigabytes of storage, a larger battery, and Wear OS 7.
It's all expected and leaked until the stage lights come on. The spec bump sounds nice, but we have to see if the health features work well and if battery life clears the daily charger hurdle.
Telecom wildcard. According to Ars Technica, SpaceX plans to add small ground-based base stations and use 65 megahertz of spectrum from EchoStar for a terrestrial component of its Starlink mobile service, potentially competing with AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile in the US.
And that's not a live network. It's a plan paired with newly acquired spectrum. The interesting part is hybridizing satellite with terrestrial to fill coverage gaps. But spectrum and towers are the easy part to say, hard part to execute.
Put all of this in the drawer labeled, "We'll believe it when we can pay for it."
Quick loop back to the politics and science tie-in. That Falcon 9 upper stage impact we mentioned was scheduled for August 5 near Einstein crater. The post-impact images and measurements from Danuri and NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter confirmed the event left a crater up to 100 feet wide and about 16 feet deep.
It's rare to see the schedule, the impact, and the follow-through imagery land in the same week's tape. That's a subtle but real step up in how coordinated lunar observations are getting.
And on the ground, Microsoft's travel security warning and Meta's model test incident bookend the week's security narrative. Deceptive portals here, brittle sandboxes there.
Plus, boardroom turbulence. DeepMind leadership shuffles, Jeff Dean starting a new venture, Apple bracing for memory price pain, Meta spending like it wants to own the data center aisle, and Sony putting a sticker on the end of the disk era, at least by 2028 in that Tokyo signal.
If we had to name the pivot this week, digital first everywhere. Products shift to subscriptions and leases, games drift to downloads only, networks blend satellite with terrestrial, and AI sits at the center, pulling CapEx and policy with it.
With the caveat we always repeat, what's launched versus what's theorized. Apple's leasing is live. Nano Banana is disabled today. The rest, foldables, watches, Xbox roadmaps, Starlink terrestrial, is forward-looking noise until it hits a ship date.
And if your idea of forward-looking is logging into Microsoft 365 on a hotel captive portal, maybe look backward for a second and double-check that URL.
It's the little operational choices that save the day.
That's the week. If you want calm, checked updates without the hype, head to factslane.com or grab the FactsLane app on the App Store or Google Play.
And if you want more good listening, our friends do a clean, human weekly wrap on Good Week and a sharp, curious take on Science Week. Solid companions for your commute.
Thanks for hanging out with us. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Zoe. Be well, travel smart, patch your stuff.
We'll be back with the next round of tech you can actually use and the hype you can safely ignore.
See you next week.